Okay, can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. Today we are going to discuss about data warehouse, entirely about data warehouse. We have been discussing about the data mining architecture. What are the issues that exist with the data mining, etc., etc. So today we will completely be discussing about the data warehouse. So what is a data warehouse? Here you see chapter 3. Don't worry about that. Uh, as part of our syllabus, we are discussing chapter 3 first, and then we'll discuss about chapter 2. Okay, in chapter 1, we will have discuss introduction parts about data mining, and in chapter 2, as our prescribed textbook, chapter 2 is about pre-processing of the data, and chapter 3 is data warehouse. But in our curriculum syllabus, it is given, the order is given as first introduction about data mining, the basic concepts about data mining, the architecture, KDD process, etc. And then we are given to discuss about data warehouse, then the data pre-processing techniques. So I'm going according to that order. Today we are discussing about data warehouse entirely. That way, it is chapter 3. This chapter 3 is our textbook, in our textbook, prescribed textbook, it is chapter 3. Okay. So these are the concepts we are going to discuss in data warehouse. What is data warehouse and why a data warehouse? A multi-dimensional data model, data warehouse architecture. So mostly of theoretical part. So what is a data warehouse? I have already told you what is a data warehouse. A data warehouse is nothing but a repository. It is a place where the data is stored. I'm calling it as data warehouse. So obviously it is a warehouse or a place or a repository where the data is stored. And why the data is stored? Generally, in a database, the data warehouse, the data is stored to retrieve the data. Why do we retrieve the data? In order to make a decision. So, generally, a data warehouse supports decision making process. We say a data warehouse is used for the decision making process. What kind of decisions you can make with the data? You can make any kind of decision with regarding the data that you are retrieving. If you want to, like, if I retrieve the data, a business data, so looking at the retrieving the business data, I'm going to improve my decision power. Like it enhances my knowledge in order to make a decision using the data. Okay, like whichever the data warehouse, whatever the data you're retrieving from the data warehouse will enhance your knowledge. Obviously, when it enhances your knowledge, it will help you to make a decision with regarding the data you have retrieved. That is why usually decision supporting systems uses the data warehouse. That's why we say a data warehouse improves the decision making. Okay, let us see the what are the definitions that are given here. So this Inman is a person who wrote the things about the data warehouse. He defines a data warehouse. He writes that a data warehouse is subject oriented, integrated, time variant, and non volatile. Like me, he did not give a single definition. Like a data warehouse is a data repository, or a data warehouse is a databases of database. He did not give a simple definition about the data warehouse, but he is telling a data warehouse is a subject oriented, which means that subject oriented based on one particular concept. It will lead you. If you are going to refer the data, it will almost will be based on one particular category. Like it will give the details about the customer. It will give the details about the seller. It will give the details about the product. It will give the details about the other details like business information, historical information, So subject oriented means that if you are going for data to a data warehouse, you can get your data based on one particular subject, whatever the subject you choose. Next, integrated. Integrated is a feature which we say that combining. We have been listening this word integrated since data basis. So integrated means it is nothing but it is combined. Next, time variant depends on the time. A time variant we'll discuss it in detail. Non-volatile. What do you mean by non-volatile? Anyone can answer? We'll call RAM and ROM. When we discuss about that, we will say non-volatile. What do you mean by non-volatile? Is it temporary or permanent? Can I call it as a permanent? No one is trying to answer. Now you can give me overwhelming of responses. Too many responses I need now. Non-volatile means permanent, we say. Which is non-volatile, RAM or ROM? Rohini, can you answer? Which is non-volatile? Rohini is there? Durga. Durga is there? Madhav?
Madam?
Durga is there? Rohini is there?
మ్యామ్
Rohini
మ్యామ్
will be there,
మెసేజ్
ma'am.
చేశాను మ్యామ్
Comment button.
రోమ్
Comment button, madam.
Oh, you have given me a comment. Okay, what is it?
Yes, ma'am.
మ్యామ్
Okay, okay. I can call RAM a volatile memory, whereas ROM is a non-volatile memory. Okay, non-volatile means it is a kind of data which is permanent. We call it as even the power is shut down, power is off, the data will be permanent, we say. Whereas RAM, once the power is off, we cannot retrieve the data back. Okay, so that's what volatile and non-volatile means. Okay. Next, it can also be called as, so he says that integrated, subject oriented, integrated, time variant, and non-volatile collection of data, which means that it contains these varieties of featured data. The data which has all these kinds of features, that kind of data is stored in the data warehouse. It is a collection of the data in support of management's decision making process. So, along with that, when the data is retrieved, it will help you to make a decision making. Okay, so there are also a few more definitions I can say, or few more words about the data warehouse. A data warehouse can be known as a decision support database. It can be a decision support database that is maintained separately from the organization's operational database, which means that there are two types of databases. Operational database, we say. Operational database is nothing but day-to-day activities are stored in the operational databases. They are very much needed. Whereas in a data warehouse, the data will not be like day-to-day operations. Day-to-day operations will not be available in data warehouse. Consolidated data will be available. Okay. So here they are calling it as a data warehouse is a decision supported database that is maintained separately from the organization's operational database. So it is separated from the regular. So all regular information will be stored in the operational database. Day-to-day activities information will be stored in the operational database, whereas a data warehouse will not have that. I can say now I'm going to make a business decision. I want to launch a product which was already launched and uh, it was a failure. So this year I want to launch another product. So what will I do? I want to know whether this decision is correct or not. So what will I do? I will go to the data warehouse. I will verify the last year's records about that particular product. What went wrong and why it was a failure. So when I refer to that, I will come to know that the reasons which made the product to be a fail. So what enhancements or what new things I should bring in order to make the product a hit. So in that way, the data warehouse contains the historical information, not day-to-day information. You may ask me, data warehouse contains the data. You are telling data warehouse is a repository of data. Yes, it is a repository of data, but the data warehouse contains the data once it is consolidated. Like you say, the summary of data will be stored in the data warehouse. Like weekly, I say day-to-day operations are stored in the operational database. Once the end of the week comes, it will become weekly information. So you can store that particular weekly information in the data warehouse, not regular information. That's what I meant. Okay. Next, it support information processing by providing a solid platform of consolidated historical data for analysis. So it is a decision support database and it also supports the information processing. Yes, it supports the information processing by providing a solid platform of consolidated. Just now I said the consolidated data will be stored in the data warehouse. Historical data will be stored in the data warehouse. So you can retrieve the data and make your data analysis. Okay, these two lines is a decision support database and this support information processing both go together. They cannot be separated. Okay, so these are the words I can define about the data warehouse. Next, what do you mean by data warehousing? Data warehousing means the process of constructing and using the data warehouse. So data warehousing is nothing but it is a process. It is not a repository. If I say I'm data warehousing, data warehouse is a repository, whereas data warehousing is nothing but it is a process of constructing the databases and using data warehouses and using the data warehouses. The construction process and the usage process of the data warehouse is known as the data warehousing. Two things we are doing here. So, like Inman said, a data warehouse is the Inman. He is the author who defined the data warehouse. A data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, time-variant, and non-volatile collection of data in support of management's decision-making process. So, what is it? In his point of view, what is this subject-oriented feature? What is this integrated feature, time-variant, and non-volatile feature? Let us see each one of them in detail. Okay, a data warehouse is subject-oriented. So, subject-oriented means a data warehouse organizes the data based on the major subjects. I can say customer is a subject, product is a subject, sales is a subject. So it is focused on modeling and analyzing the data or the for the decision makers. It is focused on modeling and analyzing the data based on these subjects. So based on a customer, I can say customer is a subject, product is a subject, sales is a subject. So this customer, product, sales, when I go and refer to those particular details, it is helping me to improve my decision making power. So a data warehouse is subject oriented means that the modeling of the data warehouse is done based on the subjects. Which kind of subjects? Which the subjects which enhance the decision making power of the users or the makers. So it does not store the daily operations, but it stores the consolidated data. Okay. Next, the subject-oriented data warehouse provides a simple and concise view around particular subject issues by excluding data. Subject issues. Particular subject issues. What are those particular subjects? I can say, for example, like we have given here, customer is a subject, product is a subject, sales is a subject. Particular subject issues by excluding data that are not useful in the decision support process. If that particular data does not improve my decision making power, then obviously it is not useful for me. So what will I do? I will take only the particular subjects that are needed for my decision making power, and I will eliminate all those data that is not needed for my decision support process. Okay, so which improves my decision making, that I will take, which does not provide any means of improving my decision making, I'll remove them. Okay, next, integration. What is a data warehouse? We are calling it as integrated. What do you mean by integrated? Integrated means, simple word, I always tell you, whenever a word is given there, know the meaning of it, then you will understand the concept. So integrated means combining. Like, data will be stored or retrieved or brought, I can say. Data is brought from various databases. So from various databases, I can say it is a database. Okay, it is another database. So another database is here. So what happens in the data warehouse is, from these varieties of data warehouses, the data is brought and kept in the data warehouse. So I will call it as data warehouse, whereas I will call each individual one as database. So this is DB1, and this is DB2, and this is DB3. So three databases, they are all combined to one particular repository, and this repository I am calling it as data warehouse. What is happening here? The integration process is done here. Through the integration process, all these databases data are combined into one particular repository, data warehouse. So it is, the data warehouse contains the collection of integrated data constructed by integrating multiple heterogeneous data sources. These data sources are nothing but the databases. Okay, so from multiple heterogeneous, what do you mean by heterogeneous? Means not of same kind. Which is not of same kind, that particular data will be stored in the data warehouse. Okay, homogeneous, we say array is a homogeneous. Array is homogeneous, which means that it contains similar data items, whereas class is heterogeneous. It contains dissimilar data objects. Those dissimilarity we call it as heterogeneous. Okay, so from heterogeneous data sources, from multiple data sources, the data will be combined into one particular repository. So I will say it. The relational databases, flat files, online transaction records. Relational databases, the data will be in the form of tables. Flat files in the form of text. Online transaction records of multiple varieties. Okay, so these three varieties of databases or data sources are discussed here. I can call it as relational database, and this as flat files, and this as online transactions. So these three varieties of databases are combined into one particular repository. And after that, see here, I am telling that the data is combined into data warehouse. Before the data is combined into this particular data warehouse, a process will be carried out here. I will call it as the cleaning process. So this process I will call as cleaning process. So what do you mean by cleaning? So removing the unnecessary or dirt from the data warehouse, data that is collected from different data sources. The dirt removing process is called cleaning generally. Here, what kind of dirt exists is noise will be existing, unwanted data will be existing, some of the needed data will be missing. So, the data cleaning and data integration techniques are applied. In that particular process, the data which is retrieved from multiple sources will be cleansed from its impurities, and then they will be integrated into the data warehouse. So there are techniques, data cleaning techniques, data integration techniques. We will discuss them later. So here this particular dabba denotes that those cleaning processes carried out here, removal of noises, removal of impurities, uh, adding some of the missing values, all those process we call as data cleaning. Okay, in the pre-processing we'll discuss them. Okay, next, what do you mean by time variant? Time variant means data warehouse is obviously is a bigger one. Operational systems contains the data regarding the day-to-day operations or the weekly information. Only up to certain amount of time only the data will be existing in the data operational systems. Certain amount of time, I mean to say is that operational systems can only contain weekly information. Whereas data warehouse is not like that. It has to contain sometimes a decades of data. Okay, decades of data or some years of data should be maintained in the data warehouse. So it is, why is it time variant? Means it is not a simple system which contains the recent amount of data. We in Telugu we say that తాతకు దగ్గులు నేర్పించొద్దు, which means that Tata is oldest one and he knows so much of about life. He saw so much of life than you. So you cannot go and boast about yourself in front of your grandfather, isn't it? Because grandfather has seen so much of life. He knows what is what. So you cannot go and tell him about things which he already knows in your own way, like boasting kind of category. So, like that, data warehouse is a huge database where all varieties of data will be available. That is why it is time variant. You cannot contain only the current information. You can also contain the historical information from the data warehouse. That is why we are calling it as time variant. See, operational database contains the current data, whereas it contains the historical data. Okay. And an important point here is every key structure. If there is a key structure in the, there is every key structure in the data warehouse, it will contain an element of time, either explicitly or implicitly. What do you mean by element of time? Which means that you can refer and identify that when that particular key structure was created and the details about the particular structure will be available. Next one is non-volatile. Non-volatile means, as we have said, it is permanent. Obviously, historical information is given by the data warehouse. When it gives the historical information, it should be non-volatile. If I say data warehouse is volatile, it cannot give historical information. I will say data warehouse is volatile means I will say it is a current values only will be available there. Okay. So non-volatility means the permanency can be assured here, is assured here, I will say. Not can be, is. Okay. A physically separate store of data transformed from the operational environment. A physically separate store. I think we have discussed in the earlier concept, this separate store. Physically separate store of data, which means that It is a separate place. I say in every house there will be a storeroom. What does the storeroom contains? Store. I am telling storeroom. Storeroom maintains the uh, regularly whatever we will use groceries. If there are so many groceries out of the uh, or I can say beyond our necessity, then what do we prefer? We will go to storeroom and we will store them there. These days in the COVID area, we are buying the groceries for 2-3 months. So these 2-3 months groceries will be maintained in the storeroom. Once the things that we are using will gets over, we'll go to the storeroom and bring them. Likewise, excuse me. Excuse me. So the things that are over will be fetched from the storeroom. So likewise, a data warehouse is like a storeroom which stores all varieties of data. Okay, and it is long period of data will be long historical data will be stored simply. Okay, it is a physically separate store, not like current information will not be available. Current information can be accessed from operational databases, whereas it is a different thing. Operational databases will be referred for the current information, whereas the database is a separate store which maintains the data, not the operational data. Okay, in the data warehouse environment, what do we have? It does not require transaction processing. It does not require recovery. It does not require concurrency control mechanisms. All these are required for the databases, or I will say operational databases. Operational databases are requiring all these features, whereas a data warehouse does not require transaction processing, recovery, and concurrency control mechanisms. These are all the data warehouse features which are not needed for the data warehouse. These are the database features. A database, the transaction processing will be done to the database. A recovery will be done to the database. Recovery means loss of data will be recovered. Transaction processing means day-to-day activities, business activities will be um, evaluated, or retrievals will be done. So the transactional processing will be carried out. We will find out the status of the data, state of the data. Like we want to watch the movie. What are we doing? We are booking tickets online, or we are going and buying the tickets from the counter. So what do? We'll go to the counter and ask, I want to watch the movie. The ticket is there. Then he will say, the tickets are over. What is the status? Over. The tickets, no more tickets for that particular show. You are going to make a transaction and with the transaction processing, you are going to identify that the tickets are over. When you are trying to book the tickets online, you will see whether slots are there, whether any tickets are there. If the ticket slots are not available, there will be no more tickets. Transaction processing, you are trying to book a ticket online. That is a transaction processing thing. So concurrency control mechanism. Concurrency control mechanism means when one particular thing is happening, you need not to. Am I going to database? Concurrency control mechanism is a database thing. Why do you need concurrency control for the databases? Is that a database contains data. So when you are trying to retrieve the data that is retrieved by you are current, and I can say it is current and correct, which means that I have tried to book a ticket and I found that the tickets are over. There is no more tickets available for me. The slots are full. Then what happens? When a concurrency control mechanism assures that the user gets the exact details about the data database. So that particular transaction processing system should give me the result that the tickets are over. And some X is coming and again trying to retrieve the data, trying to retrieve the data. He also gets the same information. Okay. Next, generally in data warehouse, two operations are needed. One is initial loading of data, and the other one is accessing of data. These two are the two important things that are carried out in data warehouse. It does not bother about the transactional processing. It does not bother about the concurrency control. It only wants to find out what is the initial loading of the data and how do you access the data. That's all. Like SQL, DM, the data warehouse also, the data mining. Usually, in order to retrieve the data from the data warehouse, some mining process has to be done. That mining process will be done through some query languages. So that query language will be used to retrieve the data from the data mining. But here, the two important operations that the data warehouse needs for the data accessing is initial loading of data and accessing of data. Okay, 1 second. Just take a 5 minutes of break. I'll be here after 5 minutes, all of you. Okay, Madhav?
Okay, madam.
Okay. So the next concept is heterogeneous DBMS versus data warehouse. Heterogeneous. Are all there, Madhav?
Yes.
Okay. Heterogeneous versus heterogeneous DBMS. See, a DBMS, as you all know, the definition for the database. What is a database? A database, I have told you in the first class, a relational. A database is a place where all the related data will be available. A database contains the related data. So the related data means data which is of similar category. Like if I say a database is a railway reservation system, it contains all the details about the railway only. Railway information, reservations, availability of the trains, other features about the railway reservation system only will be available in the railway reservation database. So heterogeneity, the property of heterogeneity for the database contains, which it will try to store all varieties of data, not only of similar kind of data. It may contain different kinds of data. So the traditional heterogeneous DBMS versus the data warehouse. What does the traditional heterogeneous databases contains? The data integration will be done through the querying. You have to retrieve the data by using the query. Like you have to write the query in order to retrieve the data. You have to write a query to store the data. You have to make operations, whatever the operations, delete, insertion, deletions, updations, other things you have to do through a query language. Okay, and there will be wrappers and mediators. Wrappers or mediators are nothing but when a data is retrieved from heterogeneous data repositories or databases, what does the heterogeneous database does is when different varieties of data are retrieved, it converts or translates the data. Which data? The dissimilar data is translated into a common form. So there will be a specific form or specific way for the data to be understood. So all the data, heterogeneous data will be wrapped or mediated into a form which is understandable to the data warehouse where it is stored. So this translation process will be done with the wrappers or mediators. Okay. So whenever a query is made from the client side, what happens? There will be a meta dictionary. A meta dictionary is used to translate the data. So through these wrappers and mediators, the data will be translated, I am telling. How this will be translated? By referring to the meta dictionary. Like if we don't know the meaning of one particular word in English, what do? We will open a dictionary and find out that particular word, the meaning of the word. Likewise, there will be a meta dictionary, metadata. What is a metadata? Data about the data is known as metadata. So that particular metadata dictionary will be there, using which the translation will be done. So after the translation is done, what happens? They will be integrated into a global answer set. Global answer set is nothing but the translated data will be in a form which is understandable by anyone, everyone who retrieves, who goes for it. Okay. So if there is any complex information existing, those complex information will be filtered based on the resources that are there. Whereas in a data warehouse, it is update driven. You need not to go for querying. You have to update. If there is a data warehouse contains, I say it is weekly or monthly updations can be done. I'm telling. So the weekly and monthly updations can be weekly or monthly. What does they contain? They contain the consolidated information about the. They contain consolidated information about that particular database. The weekly information or monthly information. That is whenever it is updated the data warehouse, that particular data can be retrieved. So that is why it is update driven, and what it is highly performable because it contains the overall information about that particular data warehouse, not operational information. Next, the information from a heterogeneous sources are integrated in advance and they are stored in the warehouse for direct query and access. అమ్మ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళు, క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను, వెళ్ళి అమ్మ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళు. So the information from heterogeneous sources, they are integrated, they are combined in advance, not when they are retrieved. Like here, we are retrieving the data and an integration process is done after the translation. In data warehouse, everything will be done in advance. They will be retrieved, so they will be collected, and they will be translated, and then they will be integrated. The like I have told you in the previous thing, there will be the data from multiple data stores or data bases. These multiple databases will be applied the cleaning and integration process, and finally they will be stored in the data warehouse, I am telling. So that cleaning process, everything integration process is carried out separately. They do not touch the data warehouse until the cleaning and integration process is carried out. That is why it is well in advance. The process will be carried out for the uh, cleaning and the integration. So then what happens? Once it is stored in the data warehouse, you can directly use the data for the querying or analysis. Whereas data warehouse versus operational database. Let us first discuss about the operational DBMS. So operational DBMS, we can also call it as online transaction processing system. What does the online transaction processing contain is that it will contain major task of traditional relational DBMS, not all the data. It contains only the major task. Next, all the day-to-day operations are stored in the operational DBMS. Day-to-day operations like today what purchase is made, what is the inventory, what is the banking, what is the manufacturing, what is the payroll, what is the registration, what is the accounting. Likewise, it contains only the day-to-day operational information only. Whereas in data warehouse, it is also called as online analytical processing system. What does the OLAP contains? Major tasks of data warehouse system. Next, the data for the analysis and the decision making will be stored in the data warehouse. Okay, let us discuss in detail about the major differences between OLTP and OLAP. An important question it is. So these are the features we will discuss: the users, function, database design, data, usage, access, unit of work, number of records accessed, number of users, the database size, metric. Okay, so here, first one, the users. Online transaction processing system, online analytical. See, one is analytical processing is data warehouse, transaction is operational DBMS. You should remember that. This is data warehouse, this is DBMS, database. Data DBMS and data warehouse. First, it is the users that will access the database management system is a clerk or IT professional. Oh, or I can say clerk or IT professional should know the language, the query language. He will be using the data warehouse. Whereas you will be querying the data warehouse database. Whereas the online analytical processing, nothing but the data warehouse will be used by the knowledge worker or a decision maker. Knowledge worker or a decision maker who is trying to improve the knowledge, they only retrieve the data warehouse. Or I can say an analyzer who will make the analysis can retrieve the data warehouse. Okay. Next, function. What kind of function it does? It does day-to-day operations. Whereas here, the decision support is carried out by the OLAP, which means that this contains the data which will enable the user who try to approach the data warehouse and improves his decision power. Next, database design. It is application oriented, it is subject oriented. Application oriented means based on the application that it is being developed, based on that application only the database is designed. Whereas subject oriented means it contains a specific subject of data. It is not based on one particular application. Okay, it includes all varieties of subjects. Next, the data. What kind of data does it store? Current data, up to date, detailed, flat, or relational. Isolated data will be there. Current data, up to date data. It will contain the latest information only in a very detailed form, or flat in it can be the text files, relational databases, and which is isolated from the historical data. That kind of data will be retrieved here. This isolation property is nothing but when one particular person is trying to access the data, when another person tries to access the same database, no one, each one of them will get their own perspective. Like the data will not be shared, will not be, I should say, one will not be interfered about the other person. They will be isolated. That isolation feature is provided by this. Whereas OLAP contains historical data and summarized data. I said weekly, monthly data will be stored there. Multi-dimensional, not one single dimension or multi-dimensional data will be available, and the integrated data will be there, consolidated data will be there. You can make your reports using these particular data. Okay. Usage. The usage here, it is repetitive because we can retrieve the data for the database management system multiple times. Okay. Whereas here the OLAP is ad hoc. Ad hoc means it is used only when it is necessary. So only when a necessary is there, only when a decision making has to be done, only when an analysis process has to be done, then only the OLAP will be approached. That is why the usage is repetitive. Continuously you can retrieve the DBMS. Whereas data warehouse cannot be used continuously, because if you want to continuously retrieve the data, you can go for DBMS, need not to go for OLAP. OLAP is needed only when it is historical perspective or decision making kind of things when you want to do, then only you will go for OLAP. Next, how do you access it? We will read, write, index or hashing techniques on primary key. So the OLTP can be accessed using the reading, writing, and indexing and hashing functions using primary key. Whereas primary key, based on the primary key, the operations will be done. Whereas in order to retrieve the data from the data warehouse, you have to make the scanning process. Next, the unit of work. Here, the unit of work it does is short and simple transaction. Longer transactions cannot be made. You will either simply retrieve, since it is a simple database, you will write short and simple queries to retrieve the data. Where here it contains the historical information. So in order to retrieve the data, you have to make complex queries. You have to write complex queries, nested queries in order to retrieve the data from the data warehouse. So the number of records accessed here, at most tens of records can be accessed at a time, whereas in a data warehouse, millions. You see the difference. Here, millions of records can be accessed at a time, whereas users can be thousands for a data warehouse. Oh, sorry, database management system. Whereas here, the users will be in hundreds. Who users are nothing but who access the data. And the another measure, the database size. The database size of a database management system is from 100 MB to GB. It can be of 100 MB to GB. Whereas here 100 GB to terabytes, which means that huge capacity for the data warehouse. For database, at most we cannot even I can say our pen drive or nowadays 100 MB and GB is also a smaller thing compared to the storage capacity we are having nowadays. But the database size for the database management system is very simple, 100 MB to GB. But data warehouse is from GB to gigabytes to terabytes. So here the metric that we use here is transaction throughput, whereas here query throughput and the response, which means that the performance of the database management system is based on the transaction throughput. How many transactions I am making and how many results I am getting at once. That is transaction throughput, whereas OLAP for the data warehouse, the query throughput, how many queries are made, how the query is responded, and how quickly it was responded. So these are the differences between OLTP and OLAP. And why data warehouse? So why do we need a data warehouse? A data warehouse is needed for the first feature, high performance. These both systems are nothing but OLAP and OLTP. Both are measured here. OLAP and OLTP. Both OLAP and OLTP does the high performance. Okay. So in OLTP, what do? We'll try to access for the methods. We'll try to do the indexing. We'll try to do the concurrency control. We'll try for the recovery. So which are the complex operations? Whereas in the data warehouse, we will make as well the complex queries. Like data retrieval is a complex query in a data warehouse, and we will try to retrieve the data or view the data in a data warehouse in multi-dimensional way, not in one single way. Multi-dimensional way, we want to view the data, and we will try to retrieve the data from the consolidated manner, because the data in the data warehouse is consolidated, we are telling, which improves the complexity. So that is why a separate data warehouse is not used for the high performance. Next, another feature is there are different varieties of database data available here, we are telling. Okay, different type of databases. We are telling heterogeneous databases. Heterogeneous means different varieties of data. This heterogeneous data will contain, sometimes it may have some data, sometimes some of the data may be missing. So what happens? Heterogeneous data, different functions and different data. When the different functions are applied to the different data, sometimes there will be a missing of data. Sometimes data consolidation may be. Sometimes data quality becomes a matter. So in order to address all these issues, we need a separate data warehouse. So decision support requires historical data, which operational database do not typically maintain. So this historical data may be of, sometimes will be available, sometimes may not be available. Like some of the features. Next, data consolidation. Decision support systems requires consolidation. What kind of consolidation? Aggregation, summarization. So for the data consolidation, we need the data warehouse. So a simple single system does not support all these features. The missing data, historical data will not be available there. Whereas data quality means from different sources, we are maintaining sometimes inconsistent data will be available. So those inconsistencies between the data, and when there are inconsistencies, these inconsistencies arise when we are trying to retrieve the data. We will say in our database, we sometimes we will know unknown. Some values are unknown. Some values are missing. For unknown values, we will either put null or not null, which means that we don't know the value, but we know approximately what kind of values will be there. So some missing data. So for the missing data, inconsistencies between the data will be arised. So those inconsistencies must be addressed. So these are the three features why we need a separate data warehouse. Okay. So this is for today. So what is data warehouse? We have discussed until now what is the data warehouse. If you have any more doubts, you can ask me now. Do you have any doubts? Okay, if you don't have any doubts, you can leave the session. That is for today. Thank you very much.